Yo, what up, man? Welcome back to another segment of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K. Mims, man. Still the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. I got Princess, I got Brittany, I got Asia, I got Louis BJ tapping in a second. Hey, man, so I'm I'm going to put myself out there first with a clip that I got a lot of feedback on, and then we're going to go into something else that I got a question about. So I put a clip out this. I guess that's dating too. I put a clip out talking about like me being disinterested in a relationship, right? And to give more context, who's wrong in this instance? If we're in a relationship together, I lose interest, but I don't say anything. I'm not doing all the things I once did to keep the relationship fresh. She has interest elsewhere, right? So like we kind of both like disinterested in each other. We're still together, but we're not. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Her nose is kind of wide open elsewhere. So at the end, we end up breaking up because she goes after her interest elsewhere. Is she wrong for leaving? Is she wrong for leaving because she was no longer happy here and picked the interest without trying to fix it? No, nothing. It's like, you know what? I'm out of here. Let's go. Or is it my fault because I didn't continuously satisfy the relationship for the 3-4 months when I was disinterested? Which side does that responsibility fall on? Does that scenario make sense?
Yeah, but both of y'all wrong.
Okay, talk to me.
Exactly.
Why? Okay, I can tell you that. I want to know.
Both of y'all are wrong because like he should have. The reason why her nose is wide open is because you're not fulfilling her needs anymore, or she's not fulfilling that happiness that she's looking for, right? Keenan,
Mhm.
let me get through it, okay? Before you
I
start
didn't
making
say nothing. I was like, mm-hmm. I said, yeah. Damn.
leave.
It's Friday.
What you mean?
It's
And
the
then
end of the
she's
week.
wrong. He's wrong because wait, I said he was. See, you made me lose my train of thought.
So you
He's
said I
wrong
was wrong
because
because I was, yeah.
okay, he's wrong because he didn't
Mhm.
fulfill that side, and then she's wrong because she didn't communicate that either. That's a communication thing. I think if they would have both sat down and kind of talked about it, then they could have seen where the hiccup was in their relationship, and if they decided to move forward after that, then that's on them.
Mhm.
Anybody else got a opinion on? Okay. Why is he wrong? So technically, he didn't do nothing, right?
Right?
But there was no trying to fix it from her end either. Just to go leave and say, I'm going to go do this said thing now. That don't hold no weight.
I'm
It
saying you
does.
gave
That's
her
why they're
out.
both wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They're
Princess,
both.
your reason for her for both of them being wrong is the same thing Brittany said because that he no longer satisfied the needs here is why that's no longer like a thing. I'm not
Yeah,
that
but
point. I'm really asking. Is that what why you're saying that's his part of being wrong?
yes, but I think also when you first started talking, you said that something about him being disengaged and he didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So I think he's wrong because he didn't say anything. So not only did you not say anything, but then you're pulling away and being disengaged and not doing the things that she likes. And
Mhm.
so we don't even really know. We know that he, is disengaged or whatever, and he's just not telling her. We don't know if she actually really had a problem with the relationship until he
Mhm.
started pulling away. So her reactions could simply just be from him pulling away, him acting different, probably somebody at work or something, that's gonna caught her eye, and whoever it is filling that void, and now she's chose to go that way. So both of them are wrong.
Mm. Okay. Asia, you got anything on that? Or you just like they both wrong too?
I definitely think that they're both wrong. And I think it just like everybody's saying, I think it just comes down to the communication part of it. He should have said something though in the beginning, I think. If he wasn't interested anymore, he should have said something like because I can't imagine a scenario where he's not doing the things that he used to do and then she says nothing about it. Like at any point at
Mm-hmm.
all. I feel like we talk a lot about how women like they might either yell or they might like she is having some reaction before she even gets to the point of her exploring other options. So for me, it kind of feels like, and I'm putting information in the story, but like things were mentioned, and nothing was done about it until she did something that was, and she's wrong for, for doing her extracurriculars.
Oh, okay. Okay, Louis B, you holding it down. Hold it down for the fellas, bro. What you got?
I mean, I agree with the ladies, man. I think it's two people choosing not to communicate for whatever reason. I think, subliminally, I think if, and you said you immersed yourself in this scenario, I think you knowingly not doing it.
Mhm.
You maybe subconsciously are doing things that are not, leading to the relationship being successful. So when you say that you're not doing anything wrong, you probably are and just don't realize it. So, but neither of you care enough to bring it up. So I think that's why it's both parties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So my second little, what I'm saying, spin off that is this. I'm not gonna say what you all say is up 10,000 all the time in the chat. I feel like that's family business. I'm not gonna say that. But my my question, my legit question, and we might be on Earth 97 for some of us in this, but I really want to know this because I think this is a good talking point about where the world is at now. Does being exclusive control how much of what parts of sex that person gets from you? Let me explain. So when you're dating, you're out here, you're with people, you know what I'm saying? You're not exclusive yet, but like we've always talked on this podcast about like, being like when you're dating, seeing multiple people, whatever the case may be. I get that we're grown and we can do what grown folks do. I'm not tripping on that. But is there levels to how much sex happens or what type of sex that person gets based off if they're exclusive or not?
Yes.
Okay, Princess, elaborate if you don't mind.
Yeah, what kind of sex are you talking about?
Luke is so nasty.
I can only do it. Hey, Keita, we can only do it one way.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, but I'm thinking of some things, but like what made me, there was a question that was asked to us at a certain time that made me think like, So like we like again, I'm gonna put the Princess, I'm gonna come right back to you. So I'm gonna put the disclaimer like we're grown. You do what grown folks do. But like, is there levels to how much or what type you get based off where they are in the rotation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something that's semi-appropriate to say. Um,
Come on, man. Yeah, like come on, man. Hey, yeah, said if we
I
gonna go
think
there, they go there.
I think for one,
You gotta say it. You can't. You
Yeah,
cannot.
yeah.
You
okay.
got
So
to.
I feel like for one, it's gonna depend on how often I want to have sex with you.
Mhm.
Um, like certain positions. If we're talking about oral, how
Hmm.
I mean, y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Okay, I don't know if you want me to say it up here,
No,
but
I get what keep going. I got you. I'm picking up what you want now.
you want me to
Hmm.
say it?
It's up to
No,
you. You
no,
grown.
princess, don't do it. Don't do it,
No,
princess.
I'm not gonna
Don't
do it.
do it.
You
I'm
grown.
not gonna do it.
Hey, let me write down 8:30 for the clip. Nah, but go ahead though.
But y'all get what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the act of giving it, but
Hmm.
the finisher.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about. So
Damn.
Yeah. Right.
Woo. Good
But
God.
yeah,
all
hey,
right.
hey, I'm
Oh,
saying.
anybody else?
Now, so let me ask this to that point before we move to somebody else. Like, so we disclaimer that we're all grown, right? So
Hmm.
if you're dealing with multiple people, it's okay that first place gets said things, second place gets said things, and third place gets said things. Like it's okay that it's layered out like that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else? They got a opinion on that? Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh
not.
yeah.
So first, let me speak for me. If I have a rotation, I don't know if I'm actively engaging in sexual activity with all of them. That's number one, because I feel like that's a little bit to each his own, right? If y'all
It's a
into
bit
that,
aggressive.
whatever. But to the dude that's exclusive, Princess, I'll say it. I am not getting on my knees second up. No nigga. That's not first place. Like I'm just not doing. I'm not passing that out. Like I'm not willingly doing that.
So is it knee specific or is it the action specific?
I was
Heh.
about to ask. I was about to ask that very thing.
Wait, what did you say? You said, is it what
Like
specific?
she said, I'm
Is
not
it
getting on my
me?
knee. So is it
She
knee
said, "Is it
specific?
knee specific or the actual
Is it
act
the
itself?"
action specific not getting?
Hey,
Because
there is a difference.
it
Kenan,
There
is.
is a
it's for
difference.
men. For
It's
men, it's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I so posing that question.
I can't answer that one. I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's
Louis,
not what I was
what's
talking
your thought?
about
I'm
though,
gonna
Brick,
flip to a
honestly.
guy. Louis, what's your thoughts on that, Louis B?
Uh,
What's your thoughts? Earth 96.
Man, I only know how to do it one way. That's all I
Louis
know,
said he
baby.
ain't
So you
holding
help her a
back.
little
He
bit. She
ain't
get the
holding
full
back.
action first night.
That's all. Hey, it is what it is. By day 3, that's it.
Oh, so you'll engage in that activity and you just it's
But I can say that because, and it more ties back into what Brittany was saying. I'm not going to be that involved with multiple people. I'm not involved with multiple people. So,
uh-huh.
you get me, you get all of me. And I think that's why, man, I'm fucking saying it. I think that's why I've been able to quickly connect with whomever I'm with as a result of that.
Okay. Miss Asia, how you feeling on that? Ah,
Yeah, I think that there are certain benefits to being either higher on the roster, being
mm-hmm,
the MVP, if you will,
mm-hmm,
because the truth is that like you're gonna, I feel like, and actually let me say like this. I feel like when people have rosters, it's because the me being a woman attracted to men then will each man bring something different to me, right? So one there might be more sexual chemistry with, right?
mm-hmm,
One
mm-hmm,
there might be more like an intellectuals type of thing with.
mm-hmm,
So he might be the MVP in the sexual category, right? Not necessarily the favorite,
mm-hmm,
right? But it might be like I'm more sexually attracted to that particular person, and therefore it might be like, all right, well, I want to try this out, or I'm trying to give you a little something extra because the sexual chemistry is just crazy, and that might be all that we have, as
mm-hmm.
opposed to someone that it might be like, okay, the sex is good, and there's intellectual conversation, and there's this and there's that. I feel like when people have a roster, sometimes then everybody has a role.
So let me ask this: who wins in that scenario? The guy that you have the best sexual chemistry with, but it's okay in other places, or the guy that's sixes across the board, let's say, or sevens
Well
across the
rounded.
board? Yeah,
Yeah.
The
well
well
rounded.
rounded,
Yeah. Versus the guy
the
that
well
maybe a
rounded
full.
one.
You say you're going well rounded?
Hmm.
Damn,
Yep,
I don't.
because it's not saying that the sex is bad, right? It's
Right.
not. We didn't say that the sex was bad. But if you have somebody, because you're asking who wins, so in my case, then that would mean the
Mhm.
person that you then want to be with long term, the person that you
Mm-hmm,
want to be with. I know that I don't want to be with a boring nigga over
mm-hmm,
time. If
mm-hmm,
all he can give me is good sex, then he's a temporary nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he's at that point, I'm having fun. But when I want to actually be long term or have somebody that I think is would be a sustainable relationship,
mm-hmm.
then that would be the person that's more well rounded. Because once again, we did not say that he was the well rounded dude was bad at sex. We didn't say
Mm-hmm.
that.
But are you gonna teach him the stuff the other guy did good?
No, no, no,
No, mm-mm,
Oh, I'm just asking.
I
I'm
would.
just asking.
no,
I
man.
so my this is my stance on it. So I think we kind of ruled out, which is okay. I think we ruled out like when you get exclusive. So in the roster spots, right? Like even 1, 2, 3, 4, that doesn't mean that number one is somebody you're exclusive with, obviously, because there's a 2 and 3. So even with that transition over to straight relationship, does that door open things that does that door open something that even beyond what you all were saying? So say if person's number one, y'all like him the most, he's getting this, but when you cross over to a relationship, does that open the door for teaching or trying, exploring, or is that going to happen kind of before you, or is that going to happen before you commit to that person? Like we kind of been trying this before. Okay, you're willing to try. I like that. Let's commit. Or is it one of those things like we've been here, we commit, and then we learn to explore together? Does that question make sense?
Yeah.
Mm,
I get what you're saying. You're saying because do you open up the door to exploration prior to making the commitment because they're
Yes.
number one?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
because
Yeah,
they're
I think
what?
you can because
So
they're
like
Number
number
one.
one.
Number one.
because they're number one, before you get exclusive, do you start exploring or opening that gate a little before it gets exclusive to know that 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 type of vibe is there to explore?
I think you can, but there's still levels to it. Like even if you're number one, there's some things that I would only potentially,
What's up, Jay?
I don't know, do
Hi,
with
Jay.
you
What's
if
up,
you're
y'all?
my man. And then there's also some things that I would potentially only do with my husband.
Okay. But
Mhm.
your man is already exclusive?
Yeah, like if we're dating, if we're exclusively dating or that's my boyfriend, like yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that's still a difference from my husband.
So you saying there's
I,
no
It's
hold bars when
levels
he
to it.
when you change that last name, there's no hold bars, lock them doors.
Mhm. As it should be.
yeah.
Exactly.
My wife taught me that
Yeah, yeah. Oh, which part?
Oop. Yeah.
the the up in the ante later on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for
Because
sure.
But
have
you
to
know what?
save something.
I think you have to, right? And
For
also you
sure.
have to because you have to I mean, after you've been married for so long or for a certain amount of time or you with the same person for a while, there has to be new elements of it to keep the attraction there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I
Do
will
the
say
same
this
old two step.
for sure. And I
Right.
think this is the other side of that, which ties into that. I think the door for me, I'll be real. Like I think for me, because I was younger, I think it's like when you realize, like, okay, all the other stuff works out, right? You're having sex, the sex is great, right? But you realize, like, in order to try these new things, I have to be open. I have to be open with this person. Like, that's the way these new things are happening. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I'll be real. This is what I wanted to say to a question that we all know I'm talking about. I think the biggest thing is this. I did not say this there, but I think the biggest thing is this. I think like when we came up learning, that wasn't a part of sex. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't like our
You
rent.
talking
Well,
about the booty stuff?
I'm being real though. I like that's not my
But
Hmm.
that's
speed.
what you're talking about though,
I
right?
am. I
Put
Right.
it
am.
out
That's
one
not my
piece.
speed. But the point I would like to make outside of like what it may seem like or what people say, I think when we were learning that, that wasn't even remotely close to like a part of the game. It may have been a part of the game, but we weren't in that realm. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Mhm.
when you get older, it becomes taboo. And I think younger people now, or us being open-minded, may be like, oh, that's why you hear it and see it a lot more now. But for certain people, like if I've been getting the job done without that, or I don't need that to get me, like that's not something that is comfortable. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because we're more open minded, but then also social media. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
we have, we talk about stuff a lot more openly now and we have access to it. Even like younger kids, even down to them like first losing their virginity and stuff, like they have access to everything that we're talking about on social media. They have access to it. When we were growing up and having sex, losing our virginity or whatever, like we just knew what we figured out, but these types of conversations weren't happening. So wasn't nobody thinking about eating nobody ass.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Kevin
And
Gates.
then can I just I was even gonna say to that, I'll take it one step further. I think growing up, like there were certain things that was like black people don't do. You only heard certain
right.
Right.
things
Right.
associated with white people. Just keeping it a
Mhm.
buck. Like I remember hearing like, oh, like that's some those are things that white girls do to justify them actually still being virgins, right? So it was
Yeah.
never like it's like, oh, like black
Mhm.
people, like we do that too. Like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
not just okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
That is so true though. You
Yeah.
wow. You
Hey,
wow.
Asia, the justification is crazy in that Asia. The justification is
Oh,
crazy. It's like, yeah, I'm a virgin, but that mouth that had 10 bodies.
That mouth got
she
Yeah.
that
ain't talking
booty
about the
hole.
mouth. She not
She talking
talking
about
about the
that. She
mouth,
talking about
bro.
that booty hole.
She talking about
She
the
Yeah,
talking
mouth.
about that
And I
booty
started
hole.
yeah.
laughing. I started laughing because I had somebody tell me that one time. That's
Yeah.
how I started laughing
How did she tell
because
you?
that's true.
How did she tell
Hey,
you?
look, hey, she a virgin, but that ass ran
I
through,
was
boy.
told. I was told. I'm not lying. I was told. Gosh, I can't believe I'm sharing this. She was like, it could go. It could go anywhere but there. And I was
Ah
like,
man.
what? You know what I mean? But
Yeah. So
like,
what decision
because
you made?
man, I'm gonna withhold my answer. But I would say, but but the logic
No
behind that,
response is a response.
I could not understand like what the deal was. I'm like, huh? So this. I was like asking, like, I can do this, and
Yeah.
this. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but not that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, all right,
No.
okay,
So after you did it, how did you feel?
bruh. I'm not saying I did anything. I'm just
No, no.
giving. I'm just. I'm just
Hey.
going off what Asia said because that's been said to me before.
Yeah. Hey.
I
But
understand that, bro.
hey, that's Herb 98. So this is the last question before we transition to the topic of the night. So this ties in perfectly to what Lewis just got at. Have you ever? I got to read this one. I wrote these down tonight.
Oh
Um,
man.
have you ever had sex with someone that you regret or don't claim now, and why?
Yep.
Have you
Trash.
ever had
Damn.
sex with someone that you don't
Damn,
claim
Brittany,
now?
hold up. Jesus
Meaning,
Christ,
like
hold
you
up.
don't claim them, meaning like you just don't even mention them. Like you might even take your count down because you're so disappointed in yourself, or like, or like,
Take your countdown, bro.
you know what I'm saying, bro. I'm just asking a question, or it's like, why do you not claim that person? So I'm gonna just open it. So I'll go first, absolutely, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's more embarrassing them as an adult than it was when it happened. It's like, damn, like I can't even say that because like you're going to be tied to me. No, we're going to go ahead and cut that
Mm,
count down a little bit. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And
You done hit a little Ibaka.
bruh, nah, man. It's just like this is my thing, bro. It ain't even about the look thing. I'm a real big person. Like you can't like people that get ugly when they get older, like they can't control that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
ooh.
mm,
So
mm.
Yes, yeah, you kind of can a little bit.
I'm gonna
Yes,
tell you
they
this.
can.
I always tell people
They can.
this when people say stuff like,
I mean,
"Oh my
you
god,"
can control like your weight and stuff. You can't control like your features.
I don't feel like weight
Oh,
makes
that's
you ugly.
true.
I don't feel like weight.
You can control
If
your
you,
weight.
I don't feel like
Well,
weight makes you ugly. Weight does not change the structure of your face and how
That's
you
why I
look.
said the features is what you can't control.
it does change the structure of your face.
Yeah,
It
it
put a little.
does.
So
It
so
changed
so,
the structure of your face, but Lewis, come on now. Either you
this is
had
what
it
I'm
a
saying.
little
This is what
bit,
I'm
like
saying.
it ain't gonna change it that much. Where you just
Every
went from
I'm
looking
not a
good to
weight
just butt
person, and
ugly.
the reason why specifically for me, I've gained weight since high school, so I've never been one to judge off weight. That's just me. That's neither here nor there, right? So,
Well, me too.
but I'm just saying though. But like this is so we're not ugly folks though. So it's like okay, like we gained weight, but we didn't cross over the Uglyville.
Look at
Uh,
Lewis. Hey, he childish, bro. Lewis childish.
You see who was on here when you said
hey,
that.
Hey,
hey,
Lewis
hey,
is childish, bro.
I'm not. I can't expose stories. I'm gonna leave that there. This nigga
Hey,
ain't
I'm gonna
oh,
be
man.
open. Hey, I don't. I count them all.
Ah, damn,
I
for
did
real.
it. I did it.
Even that
Damn.
white girl
Yeah,
you said?
same,
No, I ain't say- I count them
Yeah.
all. I did it.
same.
I still count it, but it's like
So
in
have
your
y'all ever
mind,
been
it's just like,
disappointed though, even though you count them, or do y'all
yeah,
still
yeah, you
just?
still gonna be disappointed, but you still gotta count it though.
I
I
used
was
to
just
be
asking.
so bad, bro. I was so bad one time. I was so vain and caught up in myself. I stopped messing with a girl because I seen a picture of what she used to look like, and I was like, "Ew, I can't believe I messed with somebody that
God,
used to look that way."
Lewis.
And I had
what?
to get checked. My friends had to check me. They was like, "Yo, what's wrong with you, man?" You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But in my
Yo,
mind, it's like you had the capacity to even look like that at one point in time. I can't believe I did. I did that.
Yo, yo.
and you did, and you stopped cold turkey. Like I'm done with
I
you.
stopped. I stopped, bro.
Man,
Damn,
Louis,
damn.
chill, bro.
Because I
So
was
you're
like,
not
she could look.
disappointed.
She could look like that at any given time. She could look like that again. I ain't got time for it.
Oh my God,
You're
and
a
we got
wild
Louis Q
boy.
Man,
tonight. We got Louis Q
I
tonight.
have never heard nobody say no shit like that,
Hey,
bro.
I know that
What?
was
That is
crazy, bro. That's
wild.
that's a
Hey,
that's
the
100% the
craziest
truth,
part,
bro.
the craziest part is how she used to look. She don't even look like that now.
Yep.
She used to look like that.
Yep.
Don't have
I
no
had to get
growth
checked.
She
around
done
her.
had a whole glow up.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
My friends had to check me on that, but I was I had the wrong mentality, man. It was
Hey,
bad.
Lewis said, nah, bro, but this is what you used to look like. Look at
Right.
this.
But I count it though. I still count it.
Hey, so Brittany, I'm gonna go to you. I heard you say yes. So you can share as much or little as you want to. Why do you is it you saying you regret it or you don't claim them? Which one were you saying that to?
I don't claim that person because I forgot about that experience. And I probably forced myself to forget about it because it's embarrassing for me to even said that I've been there. Like it was I didn't believe in bad sex until I had that experience.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was
Damn.
So I gotta ask a question. I'm sorry.
What
Herb
happened?
98. Herb 98.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hold
listen,
on.
listen to that.
I
Listen
got
to
a
that
little
Oprah up there.
question.
What happened?
Like, hold on,
I
I
mean,
got a
what
question.
was
So how
that?
did he make it there?
Hmm?
How did he make it there?
That nigga, he was selling wolf tickets apparently.
We were in a space and we hadn't taken it there yet, right? So like this was our first time being intimate. And I'm one of those people where it's like if the first time is not whatever nerves are taking over you, whatever it is, okay, fine. I've said this before. I'll give you a second chance to redeem yourself. But
I
that
don't think
second
that's what she
time,
said.
that redemption round was both times was terrible. And then he had to later, honestly, he later came back and told me like I took his virginity. And I said, well, duh. That was obvious. It was
He said,
trash.
well,
Damn.
damn.
It was it was bad.
Jesus.
So hey,
So you just out here soul snatching. Okay.
Prince.
All right.
Hey, Jess, you already know
Not
what?
what I said.
Fucking soul snatching. That man died
Hey,
twice.
so you mad? He got the knee action, and you pissed off with him.
No,
Oh boy.
that's not what I said.
He
That
saved
young
that
man
man's
didn't.
life.
That man didn't know what was about to happen to him. He didn't know what was going
Nah,
on.
hey, that man
He
got
done
there,
went to
got
church. They
that
said, man, go back and talk to that woman. Go repent to that woman. Tell her what happened.
So Jay, Princess, and Asia's left. So Jay, what's your thoughts? You got anybody that you don't claim no more that you disappointed in?
Nah, I'm with Lewis. I claim everybody, but definitely a disappointment for sure.
Got you.
Definitely
Like disappointed in the sex or disappointed that at that person? Like why?
No,
them?
at the person, both of them, because it was more. I was more disappointed about the time frame, because you know how sometimes like you wait, and it's like you anticipating, and I'm like I don't like people that had that big talk game, and it's like yeah, I'm gonna do this, so I'm like shit, all right, bet you ain't got me Little Caesars, I'm hot and ready, you know what I'm talking about? So you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm like you are here fucking what is this? Like the anticipation was not like it wasn't worth it at all. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, nah, I'm good on that. But you still got to clean it.
Okay. Asia, I'm gonna go to you then, Princess. We're gonna end with you.
No, I'm with Britt. There has been 2 occasions that I have gotten amnesia. It never
Oh, now I gotta ask you,
happened.
how did they get there?
Same thing that you just said. Like they talk a big game, they're cool, right? It's not like these are like strangers or whatever. But it's like when it gets to that point, it's like, nigga, for real, like you could have kept that to yourself. Matter of fact, it never happened. Matter of fact,
You talking?
you don't know.
Hey, Asia, are you talking about the comments or the meat?
Both.
That he could have kept to it. God dang.
You know what? That ain't his
man.
fault. People been lying to that man.
That's true.
And that's why
that is true.
No, so this is why, if y'all notice, that's why every time we talk about things like this, I always say women need to share with the men that they're intimate with. They need I always say that, y'all. It's because I've had experiences that I'm like, we should have never even got to this point. You should have known.
Hey, ladies,
You
I got a
should've
question though. I got a question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the Black Tumbler. I'm sorry. I got a question. What if he talking that big game, and just when it starts, the visual you get is like, there's no way you could do it with that. Does it end right there?
Yo, come on, bro. Yo, you wilding right now, bro. Come on.
Does it end right there? Or do you got to go through with it at that point? Because you don't know. You don't know if it can happen. You don't know if he can if he know what he's doing. So he didn't play this game. Y'all got a relationship, and he get there, and it's
all right,
with that.
all right.
So you gonna do all of that with that?
No, I'll go there with you. So usually, the only time that I could see that would be that the person would go through, right? The lady would go through with it because there's always pregame. Well, there would have to be a pregame where he is up to par, and then she's like, all right, then let's just hurry up. But then real fast, and then he's done thinking he did something, and then she just keeps pushing, but she still got something out of it from the pre. Because his mouth was probably correct.
You say that last part again, Asia?
I said his mouth was probably correct.
Okay. So
Princess, don't have to be.
But that's not my question.
Yeah, but so do y'all think this to the lady? Do y'all think if the man eat it on the first link up, it's because he got a small one?
No.
Hold on, Jay. We ain't going that back. Hold on, Jay.
Like he just going straight to it. Just he a munch. You know what I'm saying? He just straight munch.
He a munch.
My question is,
don't ask it again. Keita, don't ask it again, bro.
My question is, do you go through to see if that talk is worth it? Like when you see it, but you be like the talk is in your mind, but you see it. Do you be like, there's no way? Or do you go to make sure
it depends on what I'm seeing. Like, is it extreme, or is it just like?
Hey, Prince, you tell us.
Or are you looking at it like, I got some doubt here, but I'll let you try to prove me wrong. But if it's just like, there's no way.
Damn.
So it has happened to me one time, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all what I said. Since Lewis is being open, I'll be transparent with y'all. It was a very long time ago, but I'm sorry, Lord, for real. But I just said after I saw it, I said, I just really don't feel like. I just really don't feel like the Lord.
You put God in it.
Didn't bring the Lord into it.
You put God in this.
Yeah.
You say you didn't feel like the Lord. What?
I blamed it on Jesus.
Yo,
you think the Lord what? The Lord did what?
That is wild.
So this particular person, and all, and it was one of those times of like, oh, all right, it's kind of getting hot and heavy, and then I saw it, and then I really no, because Jesus, I feel it now, and I know we talked about it before, but I'm really sure Jesus does not want this to happen. Yeah.
Yo,
so you got to pull the boxer briefs back up.
That's
he came up short.
Hey.
Yo, you know the funniest part.
That's got to be awkward. Like you pulling your pants back up. Like, damn. That's got to be awkward. Hey, yo, Lord forbid if you butt ass naked. Like if you butt ass
naked, and everything.
Hey, do you know how turned off she got to be like?
Man,
come on.
Like, bro, you. Anyway, to Britt.
But did you make it to step 2, base 2?
So what you mean?
Like before you found out, Asia. So he didn't do anything.
He got up out of there.
No. We were dating, right? We were dating, and so it was just one. We just went to sleep. Like it was like really like it was just this awkward night. And that is the only time I have dated outside of my race.
Oh man, damn! You didn't have to put them on blast like that.
Yeah,
damn.
So Stuart, if you listening, Stuart, you know what I'm saying?
Stuart Little, if you're listening,
Stuart Little. Hey yo, hey Asia, how did you sleep that night?
I slept wonderfully.
Did you? So you were spooning? Was you spooning with him?
Yeah, I'm about to say, like on the spoon. Was it like, hey, man, back up? Like, come on.
You know what I'm saying? When you try to run that thing, see if it got you, like, nah, this is crazy.
So, Asia, now I gotta ask the question. Now I gotta gotta ask y'all ain't never danced before in no club where you got to get a little insight of like this may be happening.
No. Mm-mm.
Damn.
Yeah.
So Brittany, Princess, I don't think neither one of y'all
Princess.
answered.
It was Princess. No,
What?
Brittany answered. Princess didn't.
Yeah, Princess, you
Yeah,
No.
see, like,
Brittany was
I
very
kind of just
Brittany was
said
very
mine out
straightforward.
loud. I said no.
damn, you stopping in the motion?
Oh wait, no, I thought we was going back to the original question. What are you asking me then?
Oh, I'm sorry. Princess did answer. She said like it can't be too bad where she doesn't want to at least give it a try. She did answer.
Yeah.
Brittany did answer.
Whew.
Brittany did answer like if you get there and it's like that and it's like yo, like damn, bro.
I'm gonna let him try.
Okay,
All
respect. I
right,
respect
Brittany.
your
Okay, Britt.
Respect.
Okay, Britt.
Let me ask this question. Are there basic moves? Are there basic moves that all men are supposed to know? Because I just feel like there's a standard across the board
Mhm.
Of how to mount.
of how to, yeah, like there should be a standard, right? Like that,
Mhm.
and that would then give him the benefit of the doubt to be like, okay, the size doesn't matter in this situation.
that's a skew argument though. That
Mm.
argument is only past that argument's only up to a certain joint though. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's a size that just
What you mean it's
not
up
even
to a
in that
certain point?
argument. Like when Brittany says the size doesn't matter, women say that, but that's up until a certain size. Then they're saying it doesn't
Right.
matter.
No,
Like
I
that's
agree with
not
that.
Right.
all
Yeah.
sizes.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think if correct me if I'm wrong, Brittany, what you're saying is it don't gotta be like the biggest, but you gotta be able to know
That
the
is in
basics of how to work what you got type shit.
right.
Right,
Like
exactly.
because there's certain ways that you can make it happen.
Make
You
it
know what I
happen.
mean? But you just gotta be able to at least do the basics.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. What I was saying.
Yeah.
Hey, Lewis, she get you in the room and say like, you know what, Jesus don't want me here. What you saying?
I don't know,
I
man.
want
That man gonna poop and get up out of there.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Hey, look, man. I think what's so funny is I've seen, you hear about these scenarios so often, but what you
Mhm.
said is, when it's out on the table and then they're like, you gonna do all that with that? It's like, I don't know. I just, as a woman, I'm not a woman, right? So like for a woman to be in that predicament, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even imagine what would be going through somebody's head. Like,
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I will say this. I'm gonna tell you the funniest part, bro. I'm not even. I'm just gonna say the story I've heard around this is that it's
Jesus.
no.
no, go ahead.
I gotta cut.
Yeah.
I
You
gotta cut.
cannot start and not
I know.
finish.
I know.
Yeah, bro. Come
Go
on,
ahead, bro.
man.
Hey, so Lewis. So this actually like so. I've heard this story
This man about to
in the
out
realm
somebody.
of like she didn't say anything. He didn't pick up, but when he told me, I picked up on what she was saying to him.
Damn.
You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Damn.
I was like, and it was one of those situations just like this, like yap, dot. And it was like when it got there, it was all the excuses in the world, and it was all this and all that. And I was just like, bro, hold on. So you trying to tell me like these bases were crossed? You get here, and the difference between me knowing that was like she said, like,
Jesus.
bro,
Well,
because man, it's crazy, man. The story goes as like it was a situation where the chick had told him like, turn on the light real quick.
Nah,
Oh
nah.
man.
Damn.
I
Oh
lied to you not.
man.
I lied to you not. That's where
Oh
the conversation
man.
came from. And I was like, bro, I'm like, because this is the thing. This is the thing in the
Like they
real.
was in. Hold on. They was already in the
No,
act, and she stopped
Jay,
it.
Bro,
Jay,
that's
it's
scary.
dangerous, man. Cause we got to move on, bro. It's
But
dangerous.
I'm saying, if no, it's worse. If they was in the act, and she said, "Whoa, cut the light on," as if like
So
I
I
gotta
think,
Bro.
see
so I will say
this
this.
shit.
I will say this. I will.
Damn.
I don't. Bro, I can't. Come on, it's
That's
dangerous.
wild.
All right, so we're gonna transition to the topic of the night. So Lewis sent in a video. We're gonna watch the video. We're gonna get his perspective, and then we're gonna get in a conversation around this. The video
Okay.
is a nice little turn from Life After Dark that we just had for the first 40 minutes of the pod. All right.
Currently making 100K.
If you make 100K, how much do you want your man to make?
If I'm currently making 100K, I would assume that I would meet someone in the same bracket, so he'd probably make 100K, the same or more. One, we do live in modern society. Women do work, men do work. I'm not going to sit home and not do anything. Hypergamy is also still very much a thing, so you're obviously going to date someone in the same bracket or someone that makes more. It's between the two.
Would you be open to dating a guy if he was making like 55K?
It wouldn't make sense for me to date down, personally, just because if a guy wants to lead a relationship, how is he leading it if he's making less?
So it's all about money when it comes on to the ability to lead?
For a man to lead in general, the money helps you lead in a lot of ways, responsibilities and goals in a relationship. If it's just money, you're not making any money, what are you doing that's leading as a man? How can you treat me good if you're not making enough money to feel like a man?
Isn't that subjective though?
Why do you say that?
A man could be totally comfortable making 35K at Walmart, wherever the
There's
shit's...
nothing wrong with that. I think that's fine, but also date a girl who works at Walmart who makes the same amount or less. Why would you date someone whose taste is like caviar? That's gonna ruin your ego as a man.
All right, Lil B, give us a little perspective.
Yeah, I picked this video for a lot of reasons. One, it talks about the perspectives of two working class individuals coming together. You know, we had a podcast a few months ago, and I sparked a debate about women working versus not wanting to work. And this is a scenario where someone understood certain dynamics in society as of today. And I really appreciated that she didn't shy away from her point. She made it a point to talk about something that's true, the male ego, which definitely plays a factor, at least in my mind, in our provision and how we can provide and lead financially in a lot of ways as well. So I'm just curious to get everyone else's thoughts on this. I thought it was a really good and in-depth conversation that kind of hit on a few things within it.
Okay. All right, let's open up the floor if anybody got something off the top.
Yeah, I I have a lot of the same thoughts as she does surrounding that topic. I think I've said it a bunch of times on the podcast, but like someone doesn't necessarily have to make the same amount of money as me, doesn't even necessarily have to make more money than me. I would prefer that you made like the same amount or more, but that's not necessarily the case. It might not happen. But like the 35K and I make 100K, that's just not realistic for me for multiple reasons. Like for one, the types of things I like to buy, the type of places I like to go, the type of things I like to do, you're not going to be able to give me what I can give myself. And so that in itself will be an issue for me.
Hey,
Our newsflash, Princess has a Louis Vuitton never full purse that she travels with. So just that's perspective.
There you
go. For any of you broke niggas trying to get at Princess, it ain't happening.
There you go, Louis.
I got a question.
There you go.
You better have some sunglasses.
You do it, Lewis. Hey, Princess, I got a real question for you though. And that was one of my things about when she said bracket, same bracket. Bracket does not mean making the same amount, right? But let me ask you a really, really honest question. Say he's in the same bracket, but he does not make as much as you. Yeah, kick it to me, G. Do you still look at him and respect him the same as a man when he doesn't? Like same bracket, but not as much as you. But like, does that make respecting him or looking at him in a certain way harder for you? I'm being honest. I really want to know. Like, even though it's not the same amount, but same bracket, does it make it harder to look like, yeah, okay?
No, not if we're in the same bracket, because I feel like pretty much if we're in the same bracket, the types of things that I can afford to do and buy and all those types of things, you'll be able to do that and provide that as well. As far as bills, I know you can take care of yourself unless you're just terrible with money management. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see that to be an issue at all.
Okay. Anybody else? So I'll say my opinion. I agree to a certain extent. I want to acknowledge that, and I've said this before, I want to acknowledge that she's already in her grind, already in her career. So that comes with a different expectation versus not. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, I really would like, 100K in 2023, like depending on where you at and what city, 100K ain't really 100K. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I'm more so of the one to say like what Princess said. She said very specifically, get me the things that I get myself. That's not tied to how much you make as a salary. Because even when I text you, Lewis, when I first got the video, like, yo, I think niggas need to start thinking about this. How much does your salary translate to finances? Like, are we you can have the salary you want, but does that translate to finances? Like, I can have 100K, but I really ain't. I got credit card debt, student loan debt. I got a car I can't
That's very
afford. Like,
true. Very true.
so the thing that gets me that I want to kind of like push back on is the number amount. If she said bracket, mindset, comfortability, responsibility, I would respect that more. But 100K where I stay at is like 60 in other states. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
how does that translate into finances? Because everybody can have you can make 150K if you don't have the financial literacy or even just the basics. Like 100K ain't nothing. So I just hate the only thing I dislike or will push back on is the number because that doesn't translate to
Yeah.
finances.
But I think she's saying that because like she makes that or more. So I think that's why she used that number. And then the second part of that is I feel like just in our society now, 100K is the standard. I want a
Yeah.
6-figure nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like the peak or whatever. But so I hear what you're saying about making 150 and then like you got debt and all that type of stuff. But at the same time, if I had somebody who made 35, you may have debt, but I also know that with 35K, even in Raleigh, you're not taking care of yourself with 35K
I
in
agree with
Raleigh,
that.
North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So it's like certain amount. We can't be stuck on the amount once you get to a certain number. I feel like
Okay.
once you get
I
to a
like that.
certain number,
I
I
like that.
know that at that number, if
Uh-huh.
you know how to manage money well, you should be taking, should be able to take care of yourself. But if somebody comes to me and say, I make 35K, but I'm good with my finances, that still would not do for me right now where I am in my life.
No, I like that. I get what you're saying. After a certain number, then okay. All right. Anybody else want to
Yeah.
open up the floor? Anybody that has opinion or thought on that?
I agree with what you guys are both, and I've said this 1,000 times before. I agree with it. Okay, let me start with what I didn't like from the video that she said. I didn't like that the amount of money that was made equate it. She made it equate to like leadership, not being able to lead. That is BS. Just the dollar. If you make 35K versus if you make 150K, that has nothing to do with how you lead your household. That I did. As she said that, I'm like, sis, no, you off the wall with that one, in my opinion, right? But I will say, and I've said this before, and I think y'all already said this: the dollar amount does not correlate with like the savings part of it, right? And I'm a big, because I'm not a saver. I'm terrible with money, y'all. I may make a pretty penny, but godly, like it's literally like sand in my hands. My husband is the opposite of me. He knows how to bop with his money, right? So I just feel like growing up, if you started saving at a certain age, and you, let's say you don't have a high school, I'll use my father as an example. My dad has no degree, period, right? And it took him a while to retire as a chief, but as he dated my mom, they've been married for what, 40, almost 40, 50 years now. I feel like he had to have a huge savings account, but he started young to the point where when he created his family, he wasn't at that threshold. He wasn't making six figures. He wasn't making 70, whatever it was back then in the day, but he was good in his family because he started early in terms of building. So when we meet people now, and we're dating, it's good to do a fact check. It's good to do like your past history, where you've been at financially. Can you take care of yourself? Yes, but also what is in your account right now? Are you able to maintain? Can you support me in the space that I'm in now with your $40,000-$50,000 a year job? And if you can, then I think that that's okay too, even if I do make more than you.
All right.
That's my two
One
cents.
one thing that I'll say to that is when she was talking and when she was bringing up leadership, one of the things that I did appreciate that she talked about was how she equated like the money value with leadership, but in reference to his ego. So
Mm-hmm.
so for instance, like even if, so let's say it is a scenario of she makes 100K, dude works at Walmart making 35K, I do agree that his ego, he would not be able to lead as effectively because
Mm-hmm.
of his ego and how that money, that number would translate to his ego. And I think that would then impact his ability to lead her. Whether it would be because she could be as submissive as she wants to, right, to him, but it still might be like a, oh man, at any point she could say XYZ because she makes X amount, like tax brackets, right, ahead of him. So in that regard, I did appreciate her naming that and saying that. And I think that would be a big thing for me because I agree with Princess what you're saying. And I think despite all of that, it would be how, not just how much are you willing to take care of yourself, but how does that equate to your ego?
Right.
Because even if you are a man that, let's say, you are not satisfied with making 100K and you still see yourself as inferior to, let's say, other male peers, whatever the case may be, it still might impact how you lead me, because then you might lead me with such an arrogance or whatever the case may be, not out of love, just because you're trying to overcompensate for not being at the bottom of the barrel compared to your other male counterparts. So for me, it has a lot to do with, yes, the number, but also how him as a man, what does that number do for him as a man? And then I think that would relate and correlate to how he treats me in that relationship.
Hmm.
Does a provider equate to being an effective leader, like a good leader?
Yeah,
I think it does.
I
No,
think it
Yeah.
does.
no.
I think it. Yeah, I
So,
think it.
I'm
As
gonna say
good.
this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump. Oh, but Jay, did you have anything on the video before we go into a provider?
Oh
Makes
yeah.
go
Yeah. My
ahead, bro.
thoughts on it
Then Brittany, we're
was.
gonna get to your question.
Yeah, that was a good question, by the way, Brittany. But yeah,
It was.
to answer for the video for me, I thought she articulated very well. I thought she hit some key points. I didn't like the Walmart reference of like you making a 35K at Walmart, so you need to find somebody at Walmart. I think what she was trying to say is basically like find somebody in your playing field. Is what she
Yeah.
was basically saying. I do agree with the big money gap of if she's making 100K and he's making 35. I think that some women would equate that to dating down because she would feel like that. And what Princess was saying earlier, it's a lot of things that I would like to do that you can't do with me or give to me. So it would essentially make her feel like that she has to sacrifice a lot of things to make this work. And sometimes that's okay. I just think with anybody for a long period of time, that's not sustainable.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure.
um, yeah, that's my
No,
honest opinion.
for sure. And I say this to that. So, Brittany, this is gonna kind of tie into your question and to the video in a sense. Like, can we? I'm gonna step out of. I'm gonna step into the realm. I'm gonna be. Take my sip first.
Mhm.
Let's talk about this, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. And I'm not trying to be egotistical, anything like that.
Mhm.
I'm tired of society acting like dudes shouldn't have egos. Like you would not be able to be who a woman needs you to be if you don't have some type of ego.
That's
Like
facts.
even
Mm-hmm.
I got
I
called
love
out
that.
for it at the show. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I feel like that's not. I forgot what she said. She was right. She was like, I feel like that's not something. I feel like that's your ego. My response was like, respect, because it is. Like if you felt a guy, if you felt a guy not have that, ego comes with a lot of things. It comes with
Mhm.
protection. It comes with ambition. It comes with um um like force, not in a bad way when I say force, but it comes with the things that most women like, right? So I think
Mhm.
the thing is when it comes to money, I'm gonna be super G. It does something for me for my wife to know she can get what she wants. It does
Mhm.
straight up. Like, and for her, and I've said this before, the version I get of her when she knows she can get what she wants is like what I'm with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in the video when Brittany says does a provider means being a leader, what I think a provider does is allows you to operate and you're full out. Like when you provide for your lady, it allows you to think clearly. Like you know she's taken
Mhm.
care of. You're not stressing about if she wants this, if she wants that. When you start stressing about that type shit, bro, you done lost it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something. I probably drink too much. Let me tell you something. When your lady feels, I don't know how real niggas been tonight, but me, you can ask my wife. If you take it back to, I didn't know then, but if a woman feels any type of insecurity for herself, you're going to deal with that shit on the back end in real time. You're not going to get the best version of her. So when I like when you got to be able to do things, and at one point, hey, look, I had the salary, I was doing photography, I'm driving for Uber, I'm doing all that. I'm killing myself because I have to provide a certain thing for her. And once that is provided, it allows me to think clearly to maneuver this ship. But if the ship ain't got the anchor on it, it ain't got the sail, it ain't got the wheel, we can't steer this motherfucker. Like, what am I leading? So, Brittany, to your question, I think a provider allows a man to operate in his full potential. Now, if that man's a leader, that provider will help him be a leader. Every nigga not a leader. That's just what it is. That's my opinion on that. Like, so when I provide, it allows, okay, she's good. She's gonna say, let me tell you something about women, bro. This is what get me about y'all.
Tell them about themselves.
Come on, Jay. My bad. I'm being long-winded. Let me tell you about women, bro. Once they are completely happy, they'll tell you all the shit they didn't want to tell you when they was unhappy. Because it's like, oh shit, we good now. Like shit, yeah, you know what I'm tell you something? You was fucking up back then, man. Like, damn, I really had what? I really had what I didn't. So when you do that, you realize like that you realize how close you was getting chopped. Not say, let me
I
not say
think they were protecting. I think the women do that because they were protecting your ego.
for sure.
Very much so.
For
Very
sure.
much so.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you cannot tell me a woman, y'all three included, that would say they wouldn't want their nigga to come with a little ego. And that's just what it is.
Oh yeah, fact.
You're right.
All right. So to Brittany's question, does provider mean leadership? I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, you good, bro. You did good.
Yeah, man. I think you answer for all of us. You even told the women what they think.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I agree
Damn
with what you
misogynist.
said.
Am I lying?
He's
Nah,
a misogynist.
No, I agree.
Not lying.
no debate here.
Yeah, you did good. Nah, you're not
And I don't think a lot of niggas been in a position to know that their lady wasn't secure. That's another part. Like a lot of dudes, if their lady was secure, their lady didn't feel secure, they don't know. Because if she told them, she's protecting the ego, like Lewis just said. So they don't know. And he's not smart enough to pick up on like, damn. Like,
and a lot of women too will express it at first, but if you have a fragile ego, like, and she tells you something and she tries to express that to you, and you just try to like go off the wall with it, she's not gonna open back up to you. So she'll stop bringing those things up because she's gonna be like, wait a minute, like, it's not a safe space for me right now. And a lot of times that's because of the finance. Like, I agree with. I think if you make that bread and it come with that ego, the women, they're a lot more smooth. They'll go with.
Man, I'm gonna say it, Jay. I'm gonna say it, man. You know what the other part is? You know what the other part is? A lot of black women don't come from money, no way. So their number one priority is to have money.
God damn.
I'm not being funny.
Lewis, he said he was gonna say it, Lewis.
I'm not
Damn.
being no. I'm gonna be really real. When I say don't come for money, I didn't say that they didn't have their needs covered. I didn't say that they didn't live in a secure house. But when you get older and you realize what real money is, you realize that you did not have that. So the number one priority becomes providing that for yourself. And I'm not going to sacrifice providing that for myself to someone that I don't know can provide it for me. Am I tripping? Huh?
I have money.
What you mean?
I'm not in that black woman that you just
I didn't say all black women, but there's a lot that come from a struggle that when they grow up, they made a promise that I'm not going to live how I did coming up. And when they say that to themselves, if you can't change that, they ain't trying to hear that shit. Am I tripping?
No, you still telling them how they are.
I think that yes, is that a portion of women? Sure. I think I think your tone and your passion, how you said that, I think that's what we're talking about. Because, for instance, I'm also not one of those, right? But to your point, a little bit, we'll see.
Okay.
I wanted it to be like my dad was the head of household, right? So he was the one that
Mhm.
made most of the money, right? Majority of the money. And so for me, I remember saying like, okay, I want to make as much as my dad was making or more. Right. So for me, it wasn't like that I didn't come from it or that, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, okay, so this was the height or whatever in the household. I want to be able to do that on my own. Right. But not necessarily because it was like a struggle per se.
I'm not. I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
that's
I'm not
right.
saying the struggle. You just proved my point though, Asia. What I'm saying, I'm not saying it's a struggle. What I am saying is, you just said you were good. Y'all were secure, but your goal is still beyond that.
Mhm.
So if he
Yeah.
can't provide, but if he can provide what your dad provided, is it good enough, or you want
Yeah.
beyond that?
No, if he provided how my dad provided, that's fine. Like I
That's
don't
it.
I like that. Like that's I'm okay with that, right?
Right.
Because what you're saying, Keenan, and I just want to say because folks will listen to this and they'll be able to run back with what you actually said because now you're backtracking just a smidge.
No, I'm
But
not. No, I'm not.
Get his
Damn.
ass. Get his
yes, you
ass.
are.
Yes.
Yeah,
How?
you did.
How?
You did because you said struggle. You did use the word struggle, and now you're saying no. I didn't say struggle. You
Yeah.
said it.
Matter,
You
matter
said
of
Yeah, you
fact,
struggle.
said struggle for
I
sure.
thought I said.
You
I
just
thought
said
I said a
struggle
lot
is
of
how
black
you
women
say
don't come
that.
from money.
You said black women. You generalized it. You didn't
Yeah.
categorize it at all. You generalized it. Then you
Yeah.
said black women, and you said they come from a
So I didn't
struggle.
say.
You sound.
I didn't say a lot of black women.
Nah.
No,
No,
yeah.
you said
You
black
Nah, you
said
said
women.
black
black women.
Okay, I'm
women.
gonna have to run that back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run
It's
that
the
back.
company. No, we're gonna run it back. It was
Get his
minute.
ass in
It
them
was
comments.
it
Well,
was
I can't
minute
wait for this
53.
one.
And
It
I'm
was
a
minute
clip it.
53.
And I'm a clip it.
That was worse than anything I've said, by the way.
Yeah. So Keenan, do you want to keep badging? Keenan, do
No,
you want?
no, no.
Hey,
I will say
real
this though.
real quick, real
I
quick.
will say this. The only way, in all honesty,
Mhm.
real shit. Like, if I did not say that, I absolutely meant a lot. I don't ever, I don't use absolutes. But if I said it, I stand in that. They can say what the fuck they want to say. But my point was to say a lot of. If I did not, my apologies. But for real, I meant to say a lot of because I don't ever use absolutes in no case. But
Yeah.
I do stand in a
You
lot
just
of.
did.
I did, but if I did, it wasn't intentional though.
You said
Well,
I never
Keenan,
use
real
absolutes
quick.
in no case. That's an absolute. Sorry, brother.
Yeah. That's called a mistake. So what I'm saying is, if I did say that, I'm about to run that shit back. If I did say that, I meant a lot of because
Mhm.
regardless of, that's really the truth though. Like, there's not a significant percentage that does come from a lot of money.
Mhm.
All right, but black men too. But that's my story.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's
But
what I was
Lewis,
That's
the
gonna
my
point,
say.
story.
but
What you just described was my story as a black
the point
man.
I was
That's
making.
actually applies to me. That's applicable to me.
So Asia, I'm going to acknowledge the backtrack because I didn't intentionally say black women by themselves. That's
But
cool. I'm not going.
even if let's say you that wasn't the only piece of it, right? Because
Uh-huh.
one of the other things that you said is that don't come from a lot of money, so they're basically striving for that, right? What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is I can say I had a comfortable life. So I'm not
Yes.
striving to then have like a life that was I thought was like unfathomable or that I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, I have to get to this point. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I'm saying like the way that
Mm-hmm.
my dad provided for the household,
Mm-hmm.
right? That for me, that was then the standard.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yep.
has nothing to do with me being like, oh, it was never a thing for me. So now I have to do all this stuff. It's like, no, that was the standard in my household. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work to get to that standard. So if the man that I'm with is at that level, right? I'm cool with that. If he's above that level, I'm cool with that because for me, that's my standard. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
gonna then go below my standard. I wouldn't do that. But then so what I said is not the same thing as what you were saying. That's
So,
that's the part that I want to
but
clarify.
did you not just say that the standard that he set, you wanted to go above that?
Yeah, that's the bar, right? My dad set the bar. If I go
Okay.
above the bar, that's cool. If I make the bar, that's also cool. If the guy that I'm
Okay.
with makes the bar, cool. If he's above the bar, also cool.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But you also said it was their number one priority too, and I think that was.
Triggering.
I thought it was irresponsible. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was an irresponsible comment because, uh,
Good
and to
point.
Asia's point, I'm gonna be honest with you. My wife comes from from a well, her family did well too. And to Asia's point, I'm so glad you brought that up. Me coming from a different background, I'm struggling to get to where, not struggling, but I'm striving to get to what was the standard for her. So when as we start looking at houses and buying houses, I'm like, oh, you see this, you see that? And she's like, yeah, we had that. I had that already. You know what I mean? And I used to take it as her being um ungrateful, but that's all she knew.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's all she knew. So what and she didn't put any pressure on me. I used to put that on myself because of my ego, right?
Mhm.
To try to create an environment to where I could impress her with something that she hadn't seen. You know what I mean? But for me, it didn't take much to impress old country boy over here. But but as we started to talk and have conversations, like I don't think that's the number one priority. I think I think that's just what people who come from that environment expect, and that's what they
So
know.
Lewis, so let me ask you a question. Do you
Mhm.
think if you didn't have that ambition to provide the lifestyle that you provide, do you think y'all would still make it?
I think the ambition absolutely is a part of who I am.
Mhm.
I
That's not
don't
what I'm
know.
asking. That's not what I'm asking.
I don't know.
If you didn't have the ambition to create a lifestyle similar or better to what she's used to, would y'all still make it?
I don't know. You have to
I'm
ask her. That's not me. That's not for me to answer, bro.
But
So
but
why do you
but
why
but Lewis Howard, he kind of already answered that because he did say that she never put pressure on him to meet that standard. She was just used to
Mhm.
something and he felt the need to kind of step
Mhm.
his game up to reach that threshold. So the ambition for her in that moment was like, babe, I'm in this to ride with you, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't on
Right.
some like I need you to be up here.
But
so
I
Mhm.
let me
think that's because she saw the ambition. I think Keenan's question is
She did.
if he was
thank
not
you.
ambitious,
Thank you.
which I don't believe, which I can't speak for your
You don't
wife,
believe
Lewis,
Lewis is
but
ambitious?
no, no, no. I'm saying if Lewis did not have the level of ambition that he has, when you are dating or married to someone who grew up, comes from money or whatever, grew up with a certain standard,
Mhm.
if you're not an ambitious man and you're not striving to at least meet them at what they are already used to, I strongly believe that you're going to lose them at some point.
That's true.
And that
But
goes back to kind of like that thing about how you were raised, especially if the father figure is strong, they're going to know I can go get it from my daddy. I can go, like
Yeah.
it's going to be that type of thing. So if you don't have ambition, I don't think it's going to withstand
But
it
I
for the
can't,
long
and that's the
haul.
thing. Like, I can't separate me from the ambition because that's who I am. That's all. That's all I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? That drive has been instilled in me. Like, I always hear people say, like, we growing up, we didn't know we was poor. Fuck that. I knew I was poor. I was like, this shit is not cool. I'm
but
not living like this.
but I want to say a point. Hey, let me say this though, because I said it loud. Let me say this, ladies. If I said that and categorized all black women, I really do apologize. That was not my intent. For real, for real. I'm gonna go with I said it because y'all said I did. So I apologize. I'm not gonna say if I apologize for making it seem like all black women were one way. Real talk. I did that, so I want to do that publicly. So I apologize on that end.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is like, even to your point, even to Age's point, when you say standard, when you say that's my standard, when you say this is what that means, he has to meet that. Like when you say that's my standard, that means there's an expectation there. So the point I was
Yeah.
trying to make that I wasn't clear about earlier was it's like if there's a standard to live what you're used to or even above what or how you envision your life happening. A standard doesn't mean like it's flexible. A standard means this is where the bar is.
Yeah.
So to
And
my
that's basically what my point was or in the beginning.
agree, princess.
and
But I'm
and
just
and I
saying,
can even speak to that from a black woman who, to Lewis's point, like
mhm,
I grew up in a single home basically for the
mhm,
most part. My parents
mhm,
got divorced when I was 7. So for
mhm,
the most part, like I grew up with a single mom or whatever. So
Mhm.
every milestone, everything that I hit, like because I was raised by a single mom, my lesson in life has always been make sure you are able to take care and provide for yourself. Like
mhm,
I was raised by a strong black woman because she had to do it on her own. So in
mhm,
life, as I continue to progress, it's like, okay, this is my standard at 20, this is my standard at 25, this is my standard at 30.
Mhm.
So even though I didn't have like a father figure or like come from a home like that or whatever, now I'm creating my own standard. So when someone enters into my life, they have to meet me at that standard or have to be able to provide past that standard, because that's the standard that I've now set for my life. So I can't backtrack with you.
So let me ask, and this is probably the last question so we can close out. This is not because of what I said. I actually had this question written down. Do you all believe if a black woman articulated that the same way, it will be received the same way? Do you believe the video? If we go back to the video, do you believe if a black woman articulated that the same way, it will be received? Because I read the comments on that video.
That's a good question.
And it was like,
that's a great question.
It's like, oh, she on point. She get that. Do you think black women say the same thing but get treated differently? Or if she said it the exact same way but interchange the person, it will be received as, oh, I get it, from the masses?
That's a great question. Black women don't get the same right. I'm gonna generalize it. They don't get the same luxuries. They couldn't say that.
That's right.
I'm being real. I'm being very honest, because a lot of it is said from black women in the same like ideology, but it may not be the same words, but it's never received like that.
I agree.
They don't deserve that comfortability or that expectation on people. So I just want to ask, like, if that person is a black woman saying the same things or meaning the same things, is it going to get received the way we just received it from that? Are we going to be as easy flowing in the conversation as we were?
You think you talking about us or just society?
I'm saying in general. I'm just saying in general, us as in the masses, not us as in Monday.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I definitely don't think so. And I also think it's because
Princess pulling a Keenan. Did I just see Princess pull a Keenan?
I'm trying to make sure I don't get caught up tonight too. So
everybody gonna be apologizing on the damn pod.
Episode 181, they got me, bro.
And this may be because of like who I follow on social media and different pages and stuff. You know, I follow a lot. I see a lot of the culture. You know, so I feel like a lot of things where it's like, I want a 6-figure nigga. He got to be making da 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 da. I feel like a lot of that I see comes from black women. Not saying that women of other races don't feel that way, but they don't publicize it. They just do it. I feel like that's the difference. We had a conversation like a couple podcasts ago where we talked about like different nationalities and races and stuff. They're groomed to go after a certain type of man, but it's not publicized. They're not talking about it on social media, publicly speaking about it, but those are conversations that they're having with their peers one-on-one, or like they're having that conversation with their mother, and they just simply go after that type of man. Versus what I see on social media is like black women are out here saying it's in song lyrics, you know, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like a man has to make a certain amount. I want a 6-figure nigga. He need to ice me out. He need to da 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 da. Other women want that too, but they're not talking about nobody icing them out and they got to make a certain amount publicly. They just getting iced out and flued out.
Well, I'm gonna add to that too. That was great, Princess, by the way. I'm gonna add to that. I think that it can be received by black women. I think the difference is with social media, they're asking that same question of everybody wants a 6-figure nigga, right? But the problem is what they're putting out, the negativity with black women is they'll flip the question and say, well, do you make 6 figures? And she'll be like, oh, nah. So the difference in that video is that woman made that money. I think if the black woman was actually making that money, she could stand on it and it would be received. But I think a lot of the negative videos that we see is they're asking for said expectation, but they're not bringing that to the table.
Hey, so Jay, are you saying black women broke? You saying black women broke, Jay?
No, I'm just saying the way that they portray it on social media is they'll ask you what you're looking for, like they ask any race. You want a tall guy, you want a guy making 6 figures, all those things. Because I know what I said, I ain't apologizing. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You making those things.
No, I don't play it, but
listen, Ruben Stutter, we good, bro.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna listen no more.
AJ, I know you're not to play the game. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Not all black women. I apologize. Sorry. I'm still gonna clip it though.
Yeah. So before the misogynist was speaking, what I was saying was this: like,
go ahead, Jay. Go ahead and repeat yourself.
Oh my
no, I'm good.
god.
I just think that's the problem, though. I think black women are being portrayed as like everybody wants the same thing, but it's just when you're not bringing that thing to the table, it's looked at different. That's all.
Because
A
what I
lot of
felt,
them not bringing it to the table either.
Right. That is
It's
true.
just we don't
hey,
have the
Vegas, you open
luxury
up the
to
door.
But
be.
we also don't have the videos, but to
Open up
back
the
that
door.
up, though. You're right. But
Princess, open the
what
door for
videos
me
do
to
you
say
have
what
to
I'm gonna
back that
say.
up?
Jay, the only difference is they've been trained from a young age to
That's
move like that.
it.
I
To
just
play
couldn't
their
say it. They've been
role. To
trained from
play
a
Right.
their
very young
role.
age
That's
to move
But
exactly
like
what
that.
also
it
too,
is.
they have been trained like that. But I also look at the people that are interviewing. Yeah, they haven't been trained. I get that. But whatever is going on with social media is being portrayed that black women are asking for stuff that they're not providing. In actuality, it's a lot of women out here that set that standard and provide a lot of stuff. They're not interviewing them. We don't have that content. It's a lot of women out here that make well over 100 figures. There's a lot of black women out here that make 75K, whatever, that are doing very well for themselves. Where are those videos? Like you said, Princess is saying, ice me out. I want a 6-figure nigga. Right. Those are women like that, but it's white women like that. It's Hispanic women like that, but they're not broadcasting that. They only doing it to black women.
I think, and we can end it here. I think the biggest part is of what I'm hearing from what Princess said is like we also got to do a better job of separating what's happening in the real world and what's being shown to us on social media. Like, for instance, even when we look at our circle, like all you all are very accomplished women, right? Like, so even no matter what we look at on social media, even if you took your friends, like even you all and your friend groups are accomplished, do really, really good things. And it's like because of what we receive a lot, it kind of like tweaks our mind about what's really going on. In reality, bro, I always say this: if you go out and have fun, the same conversation that's on the internet are not the same people that you meet in real life. Like as crazy as the world seems, I'm not saying the world is a super safe place right now, but what I am saying is like those same conversations don't be happening when you meet people face to face. Is all I'm saying. Is there any Lewis? Is there any closing thoughts to the video before we close out?
No, man, I just think it's great content. I think when it comes to money in society and relationships, I think it's an important conversation to have. It's good to see that conversation is opening up. And, even though that money is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, I think it is a conversation that needs to be had. So I appreciate everyone's thoughts on that.
For sure, man. And there's nothing else to say, man. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.